think we're live. Still figuring this out. Yes, gentlemen, ladies, we are live. Welcome to the Monk MT channel, leveling up your potential so you can achieve more in life. So, I'm just going to read this right off to you. This is an educational effort towards teaching you how to nourish yourself towards your highest potential with scientifically and culturally proven methods of nutrition, herbal medicine, lifestyle, biohacking, forms of consciousness enhancement, meditation, yoga. We're going to be tapping into the secrets of ancient wisdom from Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, latest in scientific research. If you want to empower yourself to the next level physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, this is the best place to be. I'm happy that you're here with me. We're going to have fun today. Today, we're talking about a very common thing that people are dealing with, issues with thyroid and adrenal fatigue. So basically, this is going to show up as energy issues, mood issues, focus issues, brain fog, depression, anxiety. And you guys, a lot of this stuff is so interwoven. So a thyroid issue, you're going to see how many different areas in your lifestyle can affect your thyroid. How many different organ systems are involved with thyroid health? How many different lifestyle factors, diet, toxicity, emotions, stress, all these things are so interwoven in all the things that we're going to be talking about because health operates as a whole. You operate as a whole. So I'm here to debunk this whole theory that we have these weak little poor organs due to weak DNA and there's nothing you can do about it and you just have to take a drug because there's just a little part that's not working right in your machine, kind of like a car. Just replace that one part. Just oil up that one part. Don't think about why. No, we have to change that mindset and we have to change how we look at ourselves and our health. And to be quite honest, we need a healthcare revolution because our whole society and so many people are so sick and they're going about with this fanciful idea that they can just take a drug to isolate one little symptom, make the symptoms go away, and everything is just hunky dory without changing anything about why they're having that symptom. It's basically like you have an engine light come on and you just put a little smiley face sticker over it with a drug. And you think that that's okay? No. We have to look into what's happening in our systems, why we're having these problems. And you're going to see it's so interesting. It's so interconnected and interrelated. You fix these things and your whole system is going to heal. Magically, the organ systems are going to start working together. I'm pumped. Let's get into it. You're going to feel like the dark magician. You're going to feel like a beast like Rayquaza. Change your life's potential. Simple and practical. All right, so thyroid and adrenals. Why do you care? Why is this important? If you're having issues of fatigue, you're cold, you have constipation, cognitive decline, irritability, weight gain, sexual dysfunction, slow healing, brittle tissues, it could be because your thyroid is having some issues, and we're going to talk about why. By the way, all these symptoms, what dosha imbalance does this remind you of? If you don't know what a dosha is, see my video here, Understanding the Doshas, Understanding Ayurveda. Basically, it's going to be a vata disorder, a vata imbalance, where you have too much vata energy. That's tied in. We're going to talk about more toxicity stuff today, mentality, but we're also going to talk about food. So let's jump into adrenals. Okay, so when you have adrenal problems, you're going to have a lot of similar symptoms. If you look at what's going to happen is you're going to feel fatigued, just like with your thyroid. You're going to have body aches and irritability, just like with the thyroid. These are very related. They go hand in hand. Muscle loss, fat gain, horrible. We're going to have marshmallows walking around. Cognitive decline and fog. Poor stress response. So people snapping, losing their minds, depression, insomnia. You know how many people have that nowadays? Sexual dysfunction, 33% of men have sexual dysfunction, and nobody's talking about it in America. Lightheadedness, bad circulation, low blood pressure, loss of body hair, craving salt and sweet foods. Also sounds like vata imbalance, so that's why we got Scraggy and that woman holding her abdomen like she's possessed. You guys remember that from Pokemon? All right, so hopefully you're seeing that a lot of these are very similar, and we're gonna explain the functions of these organs. Okay, so if you didn't know, that's what the thyroid looks like. It's right around your trachea here, and it looks just like a, I thought it was a Muna, I forgot the name of this Pokemon, but it's beautiful. It looks just like a thyroid. So thyroid is basically about creating healthy cells, healing, resting, good digestion, metabolism, healthy energy levels, BMI, regulating your body temperature, muscle function, making you look beautiful, like the Muna evolution right there, and basically healthy cell production. Okay, so that's what your thyroid is doing. It's releasing hormones called T3 and T4. We're going to talk more about those in a second. And what do adrenals do? Well, do you know where your adrenals are? Do you... It's kind of funny how little we know about ourselves because we don't even learn about this in school. That's why I want to talk about this stuff. It's fun, it's interesting, it'll improve your quality of life immediately. I'm going to show you in a second where they are. Think about it for now. Adrenal is opposite of thyroid. It's not about rest and digest, building healthy cells. It's about fight or flight. It's about giving you what you need to take action. Kind of like this funny rendition of the Caterpie evolution series with the Machoke, Machop, Machamp. I love this because it's fight or flight, right? So when you're a Machamp, you can either fight or fly. So adrenals make sex hormones like testosterone and estrogen. They regulate your energy and blood sugar levels acutely. Okay, so they're going to give you sugar in your blood with cortisol production so that you can fight or flight. Okay, makes sense. Blood pressure by producing aldosterone, mineral balance by producing aldosterone. Basically, this can put calcium or salt in your bloodstreams that your muscles can contract. Okay, and sometimes if that's too abundant, it can break down your bones. So you don't want too much of this. You don't want too much cortisol, aldosterone, and you don't want to fatigue the adrenals so much that they can't create a lot of sex hormones. So, by the way, they need cholesterol to create all of the above. These are very important hormones. Cortisol is the most powerful anti-inflammatory known to man. It's 40 times more potent as a painkiller than... I'll remember. I'm going to remember. It's going to be shocking. So you need cholesterol. Keep that in mind. We're going to talk about that. Cholesterol creates these hormones. Your body creates cholesterol. Don't be afraid of cholesterol, okay? We're going to start clearing out some BS, some belief systems here. We'll take that down the logical path in a second. We're setting the framework right now. This is why we care, all right? So now that we know the dysfunctions and the symptoms of these organ systems going wrong, we know what they do. Let's jump into a little bit more about what makes them mess up. All right, so those are your adrenals right above your kidneys in the front of your stomach. And you guys see why I put deoxys there? Comment below if you see why I put deoxys below there. All right, so relationship between thyroid and adrenals. It's a teeter-totter relationship. It's an inverse relationship. If thyroid is up, think about it. Healthy cell production, rest and digest. Adrenals are down because you're not doing fight or flight, and vice versa. If you're doing fight or flight, then your body's not in rest and digest, and you're not creating the thyroid hormones, and you're not getting these results. Okay? Think digestion, recovery, healing, healthy cell production so that you can feel good and look good. Okay? So, wait, did we skip one? Relationship. Okay, I guess I skipped ahead. Anyways, the underactive thyroid, we talked a little bit about this. It's not because it's weak. I don't want you guys just to take a medication just because you think that, you have a genetic weakness. That's not really what's happening. I want you to think along the lines of maybe there's something that's happening that's causing this dysfunction. And I'm going to show you what's really happening. And by the way, do you really think that there's not going to be side effects of taking a drug every single day of your life long term? So this is levothyroxine. This is a thyroid drug, and those are all the side effects: sweating, mood swings, nervousness, fatigue, headache, hot flashes, tremors, palpitations, sickness, insomnia, diarrhea. A lot of the things that you're trying to solve, these are a lot of the side effects. Um, Drugs aren't natural. You want to return to the natural way that your body works. All right, so we touched on this. Everything is interconnected, everything works together, and the thyroid issue isn't necessarily because of the thyroid. For example, even when you just go to lift weights, let's say you just go lift boxes, look at all the different systems that are involved: heart, lungs, pancreas, lymph, sweat, endocrine. Your body fat changes, your adrenals change, blood pressure changes, digestion changes. You're not going to be digesting. All these systems are operating in cooperation, coordination. And here's another example. If you go and eat bad food, your digestion is going to get impacted. Okay, so you think that might only impact your stomach, but look, this is how it's going to impact your pancreas, your liver, skin, bowels. It can cause diseases like type 1 diabetes, hepatitis, irritable bowel syndrome, okay? The food can't get digested by the stomach. Inside the gut, it's going to get inflamed and angry. It's going to punch holes in your intestines because the food is literally toxic and poison and corrosive, acidic. That undigested food enters into your blood. Your immune system freaks out. It's saying, we don't know who these guys are. It starts attacking it. There you go. You have autoimmune diseases. Just from eating wrong food. Toxic, pesticide-laden food, unnatural food. And then you can get diabetes, autoimmune diseases, hepatitis. It means your liver. Diabetes means your pancreas. IBS means your colon. Even lupus, allergies. Okay, so everything is connected. One thing has a cascade of effects, whether it's healthy or unhealthy. That's the concept of holism, all right? So the concept of holism with the thyroid and adrenals, we talked about this already. One's up, one's down. That's why we have our friend Librium here, who I actually never use. I don't even know what generation he or she came up in. It's probably a he and a she. You can probably not tell. I just realized it has that one crazy looking eye. I didn't even realize that. So why is it wearing a blindfold if it has that third eye? It's the unbiased eye. That's what it is. The God eye. So you guys tell me what generation this guy came out, and if it's a evolution or if it's just a single Pokemon. I'm super curious. I love the design. It is such a good balance of male and female. So get this. Thyroid makes T3 and T4 to carry out all of its effects. But what you really want is T3. It's the more potent one. T4 you have a lot of. But how do you get T3? You have to convert T4 into T3. And where does that happen? How does that happen? You need 4 other organs to do that. Liver, lungs, intestines, kidneys. So look at this. For the thyroid hormones to be doing their job, you need those 4 other organs to be working together. So if you have issues with any of those other organs, do you think it's going to affect your blood test for your thyroid? We're going to talk about that. Holism at its finest. Okay, so when we're thinking about health, we're not thinking, I gotta get on my thyroid routine. I gotta eat my thyroid foods. You don't have to think like that. You just have to understand the big picture. Now we're talking details so that we can establish the theory of the big picture. And prevention is better than intervention. If you know the big picture and you do things right, everything works as it should, okay? Health is not complex. It can be if you mess it up, but we talked about this. If one's high, the other is low. We know this. So here's an interesting point. Mental health, sleep, digestive system directly related to the HPA axis. Hypothalamic pituitary axis. Okay, so that's adrenals. How? Inflammation, agitation, cortisol, Or if you're stimulating the thyroid through the HPT, hypothalamus pituitary thyroid, relaxation and rebuilding. Okay? So we're thinking mental health, sleep, food, directly related to either adrenals and thyroid. Okay? There's an inverse relationship between these guys. All right? I hope you guys are really imbibing this. I'm trying to make it simple. All right, so thyroid and adrenals. What's going to determine which one is active? We already touched on it. Inflammation, cortisol. If you're in an agitated state or a calm state. All right, so what's gonna create cortisol? Well, first of all, where is it created? You remember? Yeah, the adrenals. Good. Adrenals create cortisol. Why is it created? You remember? Anti-inflammatory. So if you ever have inflammation, boom, cortisol. Boom, adrenals. If adrenals are high, what's happening to the thyroid? It's low. Okay, so make this link in your brain. Inflammation, cortisol, adrenals. Up, thyroid down. Okay, so yeah, we touched on this. Sources of stress. So anything that's going to cause mental, physical, or chemical stress is going to cause adrenals to go up because your body is feeling like it has to fight, run away, take action. So, sources of stress. We want to understand how not to overstress ourselves so that our thyroid can work properly. Overtraining, number one. Injuries and trauma, number two. Poor posture, number three. That's the physical ones, okay? We're not going to talk too much about that. That's obvious. Just don't do it. Give yourself the rest if you're overtraining. Don't try to push too much weight. Injuries and trauma, just make sure you're recovering. And poor posture, that's huge. Think about that for a second. If you're sitting in the car for an hour, make sure that you're in a comfortable position. Put a heel on your perineum. Stack the heel underneath your butt so that your lower back isn't in kyphosis. You have to be comfortable when you're driving. Do what you have to do. Research it, okay? Posture when you're at the computer. Don't have poor posture. Just going to create inflammation, okay? All these things create inflammation. That's stress. It's hard for your body to recover. What I really want to talk about is the chemical stresses, okay? So in other words, this is the stuff that's causing the adrenal fatigue and the thyroid to appear low. Okay, why? Inflammation and cortisol, stimulating adrenals, brain and pituitary, hypothalamus and pituitary are thinking stress. It's not in the HPT axis, the thyroid axis, okay? So it's focusing on one or the other, all right? Chemical stresses that we are unaware of a lot of times. Number one, 3 Ps, polyunsaturated fats, basically oils and foods. Pesticides, preservatives. Okay, so we're already thinking along the lines of foods. Number 2, bad food combinations. Number 3, chemicals. Fluoride, bromine, chloride. We're going to talk about the water. We're not really going to talk about that much drugs, smoking, or alcohol. That's pretty self-explanatory. Number 4, antibiotics and hormones in many foods. 5, medications and vaccinations. So, yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about contamination, detoxing, and all the surprising sources that are coming at us that are causing our adrenals to be high and our thyroid to be low. Causing all those symptoms, horrible symptoms. So let's check it out because it's very insidious and it's like a Gengar. It's like you hardly even know that it's there. It's hard to put your finger on, oh, this is why, because I'm eating this polyunsaturated fat on my sun chips. You wouldn't connect that to your thyroid, but this is why we're talking about this. I'm going to show you how that's related if you're skeptical. Okay. Particular importance to the thyroid. Fluoride, chlorine, bromide. Why? Because these chemicals are so close to the chemical formulation of iodine. Your thyroid needs iodine to create T3 and T4 so that it can exert its effects. Now, if you have fluoride and chloride in your system, what it's going to do is it's going to bind to the protein that transports T3 and T4 into the blood, into the body to do its work. Therefore, iodine can't do it. So it's going to prevent TBG, thyroid binding globulin, from transporting the T3 and the T4 to those four organs so that it can convert it into T3. So it's basically messing with the production line of your thyroid hormones. That's why you have to meticulously take out the fluoride and the chlorine from your water and from your swimming pool and from your body. Bromine, that's found in brominated breads. So that's another reason why processed bread is not a good thing to eat. In other words, your thyroid needs iodine, and those three chemicals, the dioxins, they take iodine's place so that you can't convert. It messes with your thyroid so badly. On a positive note, eat iodine. We need more iodine. We're very iodine deficient. We need spirulina, chlorella, and seaweed. Amazing sources of iodine. So you know what else messes with that little taxi cab that takes T4 and converts it to T3 in those four organs? Estrogens. Estrogens bind that taxi so that iodine can't get in. So estrogens, like pesticides, if you're eating pesticides and if you have estrogenic chemicals in your body, we're going to talk about that. By the way, take a look at my detox video here. We're going to talk a lot about estrogens, heavy metals, pesticides, and how to get rid of them. All right, we're just touching on these things, okay? I just want to give you a broad overworld view. Okay, so we have to avoid estrogens, pesticides, dioxins. We talked about TBG. Okay, so what that's going to do is, sure, even if you have enough T4, you're not converting it to T3. So on your blood test, it's going to show low levels of T3. Your doctor's going to think, oh, the thyroid is really weak. It's not producing enough T3 or T4. Let me boost this thyroid. Well, that's not the issue. The issue is that it's not being able to be converted because these jerks are stealing the taxi cab that's supposed to bring the T4 to the production zone of the organs. So he's totally missing the point, and he's just going to stimulate the factory of the thyroid without understanding it's a transportation chain issue. So what are we going to do? Get a reverse osmosis charcoal water filter that will remove your fluoride and chloride from your water. And then we have to avoid pesticides and estrogens. It sounds easy, but it's everywhere. You might be thinking, is that it? Really? It's just a toxicity issue? This is easy. All right, but these things are everywhere. So we have to be meticulous about avoiding them and then detoxing them. Detox video here. So these estrogens are horrible. They cause cancer, birth defects, sex dysfunction, infertility, impotence. Just horrible. Estrogen mimics and anti-androgens, basically decreasing the amount of testosterone in your body, making you effeminate, weak, demotivated, depressed, anxious, low social power. They actually found estrogens in the water, it feminizes all species on the planet. It literally changes their sex. And it only takes 100 parts per trillion to reverse sex. That's not a lot. That means if you have a trillion pieces of something, only 100 of them need to be estrogenic. A trillion. That's 1,000 billions. That's a lot. Small doses of these things can change sex. This is horrible. No wonder it's messing with us. So sources of these estrogens. Guys, you don't want to look like a jinx. You don't want to feel like Muck, Jabba the Hutt. So we gotta avoid these things. I'm sorry that the world is how it is. This is the world that we're in. We have to just adapt, all right? So let's look at these things. If you have plastic food storage, we gotta get rid of that because that has phthalates and BPA. You don't want plastics in your system because they're estrogenic, okay? Pesticides. Did we talk about the Dirty Dozen? Dirty Dozen, the 12 most pesticide-laden foods every year. a new report comes out, look it up on Google, find that picture, the Dirty Dozen has the most pesticides of all foods. So you also don't want to get heavy metals. You don't want to be using aluminum wrap for your food. Air pollution, make sure you have a filter in your house or you're aerating it out. Open your windows, go outside for goodness sake. Don't smoke. Cosmetics, the lotions, the shampoos, the makeup, the 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 sweat sticks that you use. They have phthalates, parabens, xenoestrogens. All estrogens, remember, we're talking about this because estrogens, they lower your thyroid because they take the place on the thyroid binding globulin, which messes with your T3 and T4, okay? So that's why we're talking about this, guys. Remember, we're talking about toxicity. You gotta watch out for unorganic farm-raised fish, meat, and dairy because they have PCBs, polycarbonated biphenyls. Guys, I'm sorry, but watch out for all these things. Change one of these things at a time. Don't feel overwhelmed. Look over this again. Every step that you take is good. Watch out for detergents, cleaners, packaging, paints. Guys, these chemicals are everywhere. Just go back to being natural, find natural ways to make all this stuff. I'm always talking a lot about this. Watch my other videos on detoxification. I'm gonna give you a lot of good strategies for how to use aloe vera for shaving cream, how to make a nice toothpaste without getting fluoride from your toothpaste. It's easy stuff, guys. Just Google some of this stuff. It's everywhere. So these things are endocrine disruptor chemicals. They change your hormones. They can stay in your body for years. We don't know how they work. So be meticulous about what you eat. If you're eating polyunsaturated fats, PUFAs, you're gonna go PUFA. Your body can't digest these things. They're literally industrial chemicals. Like, for example, MSG literally creates food addiction. Your body can't handle it. It's toxic. It stays in your body for years. Watch my video on detoxification, please. Beware. Look on every ingredient list. Make sure it doesn't have these chemical names. Butter, meat, cereals, gum, baked goods, sweeteners, snack foods, dehydrated potatoes, beer. You have BHP, MSG. Bad stuff. You don't want to feel like Grimer. You don't. You're going to feel stupid, brain fog, irritability, pain in your body. This is horrible stuff. This is criminal stuff. Believe me. The pesticides, buy organic, guys. Wash your fruits and veggies with baking soda, please. Some quotes. All disease is either from a deficiency or a toxicity. Dr. John Bergman. It is not a debate about whether endodisruption is happening or not. It is happening. We just have to decide to what degree we want to let it continue to happen. Louis Gouillet, professor of embryology, received the 17th annual Heinz Award. No, not the ketchup. Alright, so toxicity is rising. Each year, more men in the industrialized world are getting cancer of the testes, prostate, birth defects, affecting their penis, lowered sperm counts, lowered sperm quality, undescended testicles. They're feeling like a garbivore over there. What's his name? Guys, help me out. He's from Pokemon White, I should know. All sex hormones, adrenal hormones, manufactured from what raw material? You guys remember? Oh yeah, it's right there. Cholesterol, you can see it. So when you have toxicity, creates inflammation. You need cholesterol to create the cortisol. You need the cortisol to lower the inflammation, all right? But when you have all that cortisol, you're lowering your thyroid, you're messing with your digestion, you're preventing your body from healing and being strong. So this is the link, guys. This is why we're talking about all this. If you take a cholesterol drug, what is that going to do? It takes away the raw building materials for your adrenals to create cortisol, the anti-inflammatory. So it just means you're not going to be able to deal with inflammation. Cortisol is is an appropriate response by your body. It's better than not having it, or else you're just going to die an early death. The key is to remove the toxicity and the inflammation so you don't need to use the cholesterol to build the cortisol. So you can stay in the thyroid state, man. Think about this. Medications. People are taking these statin drugs to lower their cholesterol, thinking that that'll solve the problem. That's like taking away the ambulances. You're taking away the medics that are going in. Sure, the medics might kick down your door to go fix things, but they're anti-inflammatories. They cause some damage if they're always kicking down your doors and busting down your house, but they have to do the healing job. Now, if you take away those guys, all you're going to have is a house on fire. All you're going to do is have the inflammation. So this is why cholesterol drugs are linked with quicker mortality rates. People are dying faster. People have horrible side effects to these things. They're making $19 billion a year selling these things. Question. You ever have somebody go on cholesterol medication, a statin, and say, wow, I just feel healthier, I'm cured, I don't need this thing anymore? No, it's not meant to cure you. It's meant to keep you so they can make that 19 billion. Great book right here, Cholesterol Myth. Lowering your cholesterol won't prevent your heart disease. Man, these drug companies are like, they're like this Mr. Mime there, man. They're just creating illusions. Other medication dangers, let's just skim over these. Tylenol, liver failure. Antidepressants, they have a 33% higher risk of dying prematurely. Why are we talking about this? Because every organ is interrelated and interconnected, and if you have toxicity in one of the organs, your body's not going to be operating how it should. Remember those 4 organs? Kidneys, intestines, lungs, colon. You need all those for healthy thyroid. Okay? Blood pressure drugs, kidneys damaged, prostate damaged, pancreas damaged. People are taking blood pressure medications with Tylenol. This is foolish. I'm not gonna jump into that. Source down there. Moving on, guys. So you want to avoid all those things. Medications. I had a source that overly vaccinating can increase your systemic inflammation, C-reactive protein. Go take a look at that. You don't want to have too many medications, vaccinations, pesticides, all those things. Okay, we're good with that. We're moving on. Mental stress. So your brain, when it's stressed, can either recruit the adrenals, or when it's relaxed, it can recruit the thyroid. We talked about this. So your thoughts can change chemistry, lower your thyroid, cause adrenal fatigue, muscle wasting, chronic fatigue syndrome, poor digestion, which leads to toxins in your body called AMA, all kinds of disease and sickness. Guys, you can't have those demons haunting your mind. You have to understand how to handle your mind. This is a long-term process. This is what it really means about knowing yourself. What are your thoughts? How to control your thoughts. What is your body? How to control your body. So let's jump into the remedies. Okay, number 1, we're going to remove our toxic exposure. That makes sense. Then we're going to cleanse the toxins that are already inside, okay? This means proper nutrition. This means paying attention to the food's effects so that you can feel. Maybe you can even feel that it has pesticides. Maybe you can feel that's causing inflammation in your body. Because sometimes you can't just look on the label and it's going to say, yeah, I'm a pro-inflammatory food that's going to increase your adrenals and lower your thyroid. Okay. Yeah, right. That's not how the world works. And meditation and relaxation. So this is Chansey. This is the Pokemon Center. This is what's going to make you feel better. So let's dip into each of these. Okay, so in terms of food, this is what we're doing. This is our game plan. Ready? Let's go. We're going to level up. Let's level up, guys. Health ninjas. Let's go, MTs. Let's go, guys. This is the health revolution right here. We're going to renounce canned foods, drinks in cans, plastic containers, bottled water, We're going to put it in glass Tupperware instead. We're about that glass life, baby. We're not going to wrap or store our food in aluminum. I don't want those metals inside me. Get out of here. We're going to stop buying and eating foods that have any additives, which is everything packaged, and shop on the external of the store. We're going to get those sauces out of here, broths, anything. We're going to use our eagle eye to look at the ingredient list. We're not going to eat anything with those chemicals. Why? Because we love ourselves. We love our thyroid. We're not going to contaminate our organs. That stuff bioaccumulates. All these issues coming from these chemicals, guys. Don't eat packaged foods, anything not from nature itself. Like, imagine it. Ask yourself, can this grow from the ground? If not, you gotta be careful. Be skeptical. Look at that thing. Make sure it doesn't have chemicals, because those companies, they just want to put whatever they want on their food to preserve the shelf life. They don't care about what it does to you. I'm sorry, that's just how the world is. Destroying your brain and body. Nope, we're gonna be like Snorlax. We're gonna eat all this natural, organic food. Look at that. Oh yeah, we're gonna be big and strong like Snorlax. Sleep good. Okay, so for food, take a picture of the clean 15 of the dirty dozen list when you're shopping. Avoid those pesticide poisons. So there's the clean 15 report that comes out every year, and that tells you the 15 foods that you don't have to buy organic because it's pretty clean. Okay, good stuff. Wash all your fruits and veggies with baking powder or white vinegar to wash off the pesticides. Smart. Eat minerals to nourish your organs. Selenium is really important for your thyroid and your adrenals to function how they should. Interesting note, when you have an overworked person, an overstressed person, they're going to really crave salty things. Why is that? Their body doesn't have the minerals. It's depleted. It's been creating all these hormones that deplete their minerals. That's why you need to get the minerals. The minerals are going to conduct the electricity so that your body and nervous system can activate energy properly. So, shilajit, bentonite clay, Himalayan salt, coconut water. Get your minerals, guys. All these are potent ways to get minerals. Another thing, if you're eating raw food from good ground, organic, if you're going to farmers markets, food has natural sources of minerals. But if the soil's depleted because you're buying it from a big company that's just not nourishing their soil or using fertilizers, you're not going to have your minerals. So get your minerals. All right, we're gonna start feeling good and looking pretty like this evening, man. Water. Get the dioxins out of your water. Remember the fluoride and the chlorine? Get that water filter. Buy a fluoride and chlorine shower head. Don't bathe your body. Your skin will absorb those chemicals. I know it's a lot of stuff to do. Do one thing at a time. Don't feel rushed. Don't feel bad. Every step that you take, you're gonna feel good about it. Guys, this is your health. You want to spend money on a Ferrari, or you want to be the Ferrari? Be the Ferrari. You're gonna feel better if you're the Ferrari. High performance octane, baby. Personal care. Oh yeah, make that fluoride-free toothpaste, baking powder, coconut oil, peppermint oil. Easy. Neem soap, essential oils. Not hand sanitizer. No. That's a whole nother story. You're killing your gut with those antibacterials, guys. No aluminum deodorants. No, just put baking powder and coconut oil. Easy. You know, if you're blocking your detox lymph glands under your armpit, where are the toxins going if you can't sweat? Antiperspirant, anti-sweat is staying inside. It's ludicrous. Get rid of it. Throw out your baby powder, gentlemen. Ladies, get rid of those makeups, creams, lotions. All those have nasty parabens, chemicals, nasty stuff. You don't want that in your body. Get a organic chemical-free shampoo, shaving cream, cosmetics. How? Use aloe vera to shave. Sesame coconut oil for your skin, your shampoo. Essential oils to clean your body, smell good for your hair. Baking powder. Use that for deodorants, toothpastes. Guys, if you're using the coconut oil, the aloe vera, your skin is going to look better than any of these BS products anyways. You're going to be shining like an Eevee, like a Clefairy. Don't waste your money. on chemicals that are hurting you. Let's talk about mentality. We got this badass mega Oranguru right here, one of my favorite Pokemon. I've never used him. He looks like he's a psychic grass type. Badass. Alright, so if you're mentally stressed out, that can be creating the cortisol, keeping your thyroid low, causing adrenal fatigue and all those symptoms. So here's some short-term things you can do. Get massaged, relax your body, be good to your body. Take Epsom salt, essential oil baths with Himalayan salt play some good music, get out in nature. Nature will transform how your mind feels. The energy, the energetics of it is amazing. The beach, wind, water, the sun, fire, earth, all this is underestimated how powerful it is to regenerate you. Exercise, you're detoxing, you're boosting, strengthening hormones, you're building muscle. Music, amazing way to relax, amazing way to change your state. Mystical, even dancing, singing can instantly change everything about your body. Now, these are short-term things. We're going to talk about long-term things. Visualization, imagining good memories, imagining paradise, imagining that beach, imagining the fun that you had as a kid, imagining the video games and the beautiful art, imagining how you want to be. This stuff will take you into the healing, rest, and digest state. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Whenever you start feeling disturbed, notice it. Okay, this is what it means. You notice it, and then you reframe it, and you repeat that. So you just your client just canceled on you. You start feeling stressed. Oh, I noticed that I'm feeling stressed now. So you felt it. You reframe it. So you change your system of thinking so that you're reframing. You're feeling differently about the same situation. Oh, before I was thinking that I lost money, but now I'm thinking I have free time. Great. It's like positive mental attitude, but you keep on. It requires awareness and repetition. Okay, so that's CBT. Write a gratitude list. Remember how good your life is. Remember that you're alive. That's the most blessed thing. Remember your health. You're not a paraplegic. You don't have ALS. There you go. Just practice gratitude, laughter, laugh with friends, be stupid, lighten up, loosen the grip, watch some comedy, fool around, stop being so serious. Look at art, make some art, talk therapy. Sometimes you just gotta get stuff off your chest. Just talk to a good friend, talk to a therapist. Social support, get around happy people who care about you. They'll boost you up. You're gonna feel better. Decrease that cortisol. Pet your thyroid. Take a nap. Energize spaces. Guys, this is short-term mental remedies. Long-term, this is deeper stuff, guys. Once you come to the point where you understand Stoicism and Vairagya, the Indian concept of detachment, this is basically where no matter what outside circumstance happens, the real source of happiness is inside you. And no matter what happens, how things turn out on the outside, that's not the true source of bliss, joy, and happiness. None of those things can really give you true satisfaction in what you're looking for in life. See through all those things in the pursuit. See through the castles in the sky. See through it. They're phantoms. All the sex that you want won't really fulfill you. All the money that you want won't really fulfill you. All the friends and social status that you want won't really fulfill you. All the food, deep down, you already know. But train yourself to see through these things and be okay with how fate turns out. Be involved, do your best. Don't get apathetic. But this is what Stoicism means, is that you value your mind and your consciousness, and you work on developing those virtues. And you won't spoil the training of your mind just because you lost some money or because somebody doesn't like you. It means mindfulness and consciousness, guys. It means deep contemplation on lower versus higher energies, thoughts, and acts, so that you can be wise with your decisions, wise with your thoughts. whys and how you spend your energy. We're talking about porn. We're talking about lust. We're talking about masturbation. I'm not talking about morals. I'm talking about how do you want to use your energy. Deeply meditate, contemplate on what it means to live an honorable life. What really will make you feel good about yourself? And how do you want to use your time and energy to build that kind of a life? And what's going to be a trap that takes you away from that? These are higher concepts that will give you higher levels of mental health. And what I'm talking about is the profoundness of your existence, not even just the shallow idea of mental health. Am I happy or am I not happy? No. Levels of spiritual transcendence and unity towards self-control, towards freedom from compulsive addictions. This is what real health means. When you start really understanding what the ideal is, what's the most transcendent person you know, what's the most transcendent ideals, and you get to work on yourself, that's real health. All the other stuff is just puff. It's poofa. And if you can understand through meditation, yoga, spiritual tools and work called sadhana, how to change those deep habits, those deep strongholds in your mind, in your body, if you can break through those and really start acting like the honorable person you know you are, that's real mental health. That's really why we're here. That's why I'm talking about all this. Because without a healthy body, you can't do these things. Your mind will be dragged into hell with your body. Once you start uprooting weak, untrue beliefs by realization, and you start reprogramming them through autosuggestion, aka CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, you're going to start seeing things differently. People won't upset you. You're going to have empathy and understanding and wisdom. All these little trifling things are going to feel like a little kid on a playground pouting because he got his toy taken away. That's real Stoicism. That's real Vairagya. That's real wisdom, is understanding. And that takes years to develop, and that's a spiritual journey. And there's tools towards that, but this is just an overview. Hopefully that motivates you. Guys, in a nutshell, yeah, we were talking about thyroid and adrenals. We were talking about energy, cognition, focus. We were talking about sexual function, fertility. We were talking about energy metabolism. We're talking about all those symptoms that low thyroid can give you. And it's really simple in that, isn't it? Here's in a nutshell. These are the keys to health. Yeah, you gotta eat a proper diet. Non-toxic food and water. You gotta detoxify yourself. Check out my detox video. You gotta make sure that you exercise, you're in proper alignment, muscular balance. You have to have proper mental process. And you have to have your mind and your energy and your emotions in the right place. You guys, if you don't have a feeling of purpose, progress, self-mastery, if you don't have an ideal to look up to, aka a master or a guru, if you're not doing anything for your ultimate well-being, aka sadhana, if you're not meditating, you're chasing phantoms. You're chasing these things that you think are going to make you happy, like a little kid who thinks that a marshmallow is going to make him happy. That's how silly it is. So get these things in your life. It's really as simple as that. You're going to start feeling like a dark magician. You're going to start feeling like an orang guru. It's a good thing. That's it, guys. That's thyroid and adrenals. All this stuff fits together. It's not like this only applies to your thyroid and adrenals. This applies to so many aspects of yourself. Remember holism. Remember, these things are worth it. You start living healthier, doors will open. You're gonna think and feel different. You're gonna unlock your true potential. You're gonna level up. That's what we're here for. It all starts with the foundation of health. Alright, guys. I hope this blessed you. If this has helped you out, if you have fun, please like and subscribe. I want to give you all the best videos and information so you can level up. Let's level up together. Let's build this community. Let's change how people think about their health. Let's change people's consciousness. Let's raise the potential. Let's change the amount of suffering that's happening. We can change each other. We can change ourselves. We can change our destiny with these simple and practical ways. Start living it. People will be inspired by you. The way that you think, the way that you talk. Your reverberations will have a deep impact on their mind and their body. And you'll reach further understanding in your life of how you work, of how they work. You're going to make a bigger impact on the people that you love. Your whole life will change. This is what we need. This is what we need. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for being a healthy friend. Thanks for being a dark magician. Thanks for being here with me on this journey. This is the Monk MT, and I'm signing off.